welcome back. My name is Dave. This is Macaro Siding, my N-Scale layout. And today we're going to talk about painting vehicles. You may have seen in the last video that I had a whole fleet of cement trucks, so I thought I'd just take you through how I do this. It's not difficult, but it does bear some, there are little tips and tricks that you can do to make things a little easier for yourself. So first off, I'm going to switch over here, and you can see there's a cement truck. Maybe I'll zoom in on that. Can I zoom in on that? That's as much as I can zoom in on that. And you can see that's a finished truck. I keep forgetting to check the focus on this one. There we go. So what we're going to do today is we're going to paint this semi, which is going to go with this trailer. And there's parts of the trailer that still need to be painted as well. So we're going to paint that up and then put it on the layout. Now the reason for this is I didn't even know that this kind of trailer was used for cement powder. But I posted on a couple of Facebook pages the finished cement plant with all the trucks parked out in front. And so I got a bunch of people asking me for the file, so I directed them to Thingiverse. And if you search on Thingiverse cement truck, that's all you got to put it in, is a cement truck, you'll find a bunch. There's one that says it's HO, and it is not HO. It is N scale. The file is N scale. If you wanted to make it HO, you'd have to increase it by 154%. Because N scale is about 54% of what HO is. And that's where this file came from. I never did anything to resize that. All I did was use the STL the way it came out of the computer. So this trailer and this trailer are both from Shapeways. And sometimes there's issues with Shapeways. This one is in pretty good shape, but it does have a little lean to it. And that lean comes out when we put a tractor underneath it and do that. So we're going to put that aside for now, the other big one aside for now, and I'm going to show you how I approach this. So the first thing is I'm going to use my airbrush. Now, I am no airbrush expert. In fact, it took me about 5 minutes to figure out how to get it to work again today, after just... So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape off the parts that I don't want the color of the cab. Now, the color I'm picking for the cab is because on one of the Facebook pages, the guy said to me, you know, you got to put an ash truck, a bulk carrier ash truck in there, because that's what they deliver to cement plants. Like I said, I didn't know that was what that particular trailer was for. And anyway, he posted a picture of the truck he actually drives. That's why he was giving me advice, because he actually drives this kind of truck. And so what we're going to do is the picture is of a red tractor pulling a chrome or grayscale trailer in color. The trailer's grayscale. I've painted them chrome because I've seen them chrome before, and I think it looks sharp. And so here we go. This is the little truck we're going to paint. Now I've got other trucks and things sitting on here because I've got four dump trucks that need to be painted for they need to be painted for the mine. And I've got another dump truck, and it's a pumping truck, dump truck, sitting on the layout. It's not painted, so it's going to have to come over here and get painted with these guys here. So what are we going to do here? We're going to take the airbrush and we're going to paint this cab. And like I said, we're painting it red. And the other colors that we're going to use here are black and chrome. Now the chrome, we're going to use Molotow Is it? I can never figure out Molotow pens to do some of the chrome work on the vehicles. That's what the chrome work on this one is. The tires, some of the undercarriage, some of the fuel tanks and those things, they're all done with Molotow. So when I'm doing anything on the airbrush, get a scrap of paper out and just test. I'm going to move that over. Okay, there you go. So I have a little compressor, and all of these have been sprayed to me a fine gray primer. Now you can set yourself up with an airbrush. The brush I'm using is a Paasche Talon, and I bought it special to go with you can't see what I'm doing here, can you? Maybe if I switch hands. I'm not left-handed, but I'm going to switch hands here. And that way I can hold on to this thing and spray. Or can I? I've never tried this method. Okay. All right. Now Mr. Compressor here will shut off. There it goes. And now we've got a red truck. I'm grabbing a rag here. Hang on. A little bit of isopropyl alcohol. We'll just clean that. I'll clean that up later, better later with another cleaner, but this gets the majority of the paint off before it dries. So of course, we've got to get this thing dry. One way is just to wait for time and let it dry, or use a hairdryer. Now, one of the things you've got to be careful with is not to melt the model. This is just a regular little hairdryer. I do have a very powerful heat gun, but that would turn this model into a puddle of goop if I ever took it and put it against it, because it puts out enough heat to start a fire. So we have a red truck. So I'm just putting the air dryer down there. So the next step is to get rid of this tape. I'm hunting for my... Okay, let's just tear it. You got to be careful because you can easily snap things off on a small end scale model. And I have done that too many times too. So, taking the So we now have a red cab and a gray body behind it. Now, what we're going to do here is, I'm just going to check and see how much paint is in this. Okay, so I'm just cleaning out my airbrush right now. Now, one of the things I do every time I paint is, of course, I shake up my paints. And I have this wonderful little vibrator thingy. That shakes up the paint. I'm just going to check and see what this is. Water base, okay. So, in goes the black. I have a brush over here, which I'm going to put in the cup, and I'm going to stir this until we get a not pure black, but a grimy black, which will better suit the back of the truck, because they're never as clean as you think they are. I'm just going to test this. All right, so now I've tested that out on a piece of paper. I'll put the vibrator down here under the table. And we're going to take more green paint, tape. And this time, we're going to mask off the cab. The tires and the accents will all get painted by hand. But to get an overall nice, smooth surface, it's easier just to, you know what, it's so hard to figure out where to put things. Okay, I'm going to do this. There. That should hold it in place. Okay. I'm going to take the paper, slide it underneath, and turn it on its side. Paint that side. Turn it on this side. Paint this side. And then paint the back. And then the bottom. And that goes back there. Okay, so once again, now, whenever you can, it's just easier to mask things off. I've seen these guys who paint wargaming miniature creatures and characters and stuff. And I tell you, they do one good job of painting. I have nowhere near that kind of skill. So now we have the red truck with the front. I'm going to have to do some painting, touch-up painting in there. And now we start with painting with a brush. Where's my hand? So I have a wet palette. And a wet palette is designed to let's see, we're going to do it this way, I think. And we're going to zoom out. There we go. And focus. Okay. So we have the truck painted up, ready to go. And now we need to hand paint some things. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to paint some of the chrome that I can't paint with the Molotow. So I'm putting some silver paint on the white palette. Wetting my brush, which you should always do before you stick it in the paint. And then just taking just mixing, making sure that it's all combined. And then I'm just going to test it on my hand. And here we go. So what I'm painting now is the fuel tanks on either side of the truck. It's a fairly small brush. Trying to keep it just where I want it to go and not every place. So that's that side done. So oops, the bottle's right in the way, isn't it? So we got, you can see that just a little bit. It's a little lighter. It had red and black paint on it, so now painting this one on this side. So now we have that painted. The next thing to paint is the steps going up to the cab. Again, a small brush and lots of care. So the next thing to do is the front grille. And for that, I'm switching to an even smaller brush. And I'm looking for my reading glasses because this is going to be difficult. So, brush in the water again. Pick up some paint. Lift the front of the truck up. Now, one of the tricks with painting fine detail like this, like something with a straight edge in the grill, is put the point of your paintbrush against the body line. And then just gently poke the paint. And we're going to do there and there. And we're going to do there. It's got some little horn lights on the roof that need to be touched up just barely. Okay, so that's all the chrome done. So now I'm going to use some Mission Models black tire black, MMP-040 tire black number 1. So again, I check it up. Now this tire black is, I'm going to be careful with my hands here, where I'm touching things. Oh. I'm just going to paint the wheels. You know what? I'm going to switch to another black. I don't know what this one looks like. All right. So again, just line the truck on its edge. And I'm painting right over the tires. And I'm not sure where I got the model for this tractor. I must have been from, it was either a Thingiverse purchase, or a Thingiverse download, or I got it from CG Trader and scaled it down to BN scale, which is what I do with a lot of things. So that's the back tires done. Now I'm going to do the front tires. Sorry you can't see it, but it requires quite a bit of concentration and effort on my part to paint these tiny little thingies. I don't have the steadiest hands anymore, which makes painting something that's only 2 or 3 millimeters in size a difficult prospect for me. And we're getting close to being finished here. Okay. Now, let's see. Where are we? We're there. And of course, we got stuff in the way you can't see. And I'm going to zoom back in on that truck. And I'm going to just slide the wet palette out of the way. Clean my brush right away so that it stays good. All right. Now, again, the hair dryer. And now for the finishing touch. A Molotow paintbrush. These are chrome. I'm just going to double check that I have the right, I do, okay. Okay, so I need a piece of paper again. And we need to test it, make sure it's coming out. And this is the finishing touch. And again, now I really need my glasses. What I'm doing here is I'm painting the hubs. Gotta be careful because I'm gonna end up touching what I've already done. There's that one. That one. That one. And his exhaust stack. Get some Molotow. So here we have it. I'll move the wet palette out of the way so it's easier to see. So there's the semi that's going to haul the bulk load trailer. And the only thing I have to do on the bulk load trailer is paint the tires. So again, I'm just going to grab a brush. I'm going to go back to my wet palette. Pick up some paint and paint the tires. Like I said, I don't have the steadiest hands anymore. Pick up some more paint here. So, what do we have here at the end of the day? We have and I'll be gluing these together so that they're one unit. And we have a painted truck. So I want to thank you for watching today. I know it wasn't as riveting. I'm trying to. Why aren't we going to camera one? Hold on. Something's gone wrong here. There we go, camera one. So I know it wasn't that riveting, and you probably knew most of this, but I just do go along as I do, doing things that I have to do for my layout anyway. So next week, what are we going to go to? Well, I have two choices. I think I'm going to do the first one, and the second one, the reason we're not going to do it right away is it is a huge project. It's almost as much work as the gravel mine has been in the past. So next week we're going to use my my own homemade sculpt mold, and we're going to do the scenery around the cement plant. It needs to be done before we start working on the on the paper mill because it's directly behind the paper mill, and I don't want to break things by reaching over to finish off the surrounding hills and valleys and stuff around the gravel, the cement plant. So that's probably what we'll do next week. The week after, we will definitely start the paper mill. The paper mill is an N-scale kit, and then there's only 2 buildings in that N-scale kit, and all the rest has been scratch built by me. And it is not going to be prototypical. It is going to be freelance. It's going to be invented stuff. All I want to do is make something that looks like a paper mill and fills a huge space, a space 4 feet by 4 feet. There will be obviously track in there, and we'll be working. The track is already soldered together, all of it, and is sitting on a bench on the other side of this room. And next week we'll show you how the paper mill looks right now. And then I'm going to start taking buildings off, and we're going to do things in sections to make it easier and to break it into more interesting videos. So once again, thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribing is free. And if you ring that little bell, you'll get a notification of when the next video goes out, usually Thursday sometime. So as always, be good to yourself, be good to your family, and remember, it's your railroad and you can do it any way you want. And thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.